Hi, Chris here with another recent vinyl update video for you, running through another collection of New Zealand records that I've picked up recently. I'm starting off with some older things, second hand that I've picked up. This is the Pterodactyls, We've Done It Now. This is an EP from 1987, and it's not a Flying Nun release, but it's very much in that vein of indie jangle pop that was very popular in New Zealand in the 1980s. This, I just love the cover. It's one of my favourite covers, I think, of a New Zealand release. Now, one of the strange things about this is that it's a single side EP, so it's 33 RPM, but 5 tracks only on one side. I don't know why they didn't put together a 45 RPM double side EP. They were pretty popular around the time this came out, but just single sided. And like I said, it's kind of what you'd expect, New Zealand indie jangle pop. There is one stunning song on here though, which is Born Again, which I think is fantastic, and one of the main reasons that I picked this up. In an earlier video I showed a Bailter Space LP Whammo that I picked up that I was really pleased with, and I've been looking out for more. This is Thermos, it's from 1990, it's the Flying Nun release. I believe it also got a US release perhaps on Matador, and probably not as, I'm probably not as keen on this as I am on Whammo and some of their other material, but there's some really fantastic songs in here. It's kind of a real driving harmonic guitar sound on here, kind of a bit shoegazy but harder than that, but it's just got that lower layers of droning guitar, which I really like, kind of feedback guitar, just one on the other, to make it kind of gives you that sound almost like you're soaring. You just feel like you're taking off when you're listening to something like this and floating along on the top of it. It's Thermos from Bailter Space. And this is, I was really pleased to pick up. This is The White House from the Dead Sea. It came out in 1997 on Silk Breeze. And Silk Breeze have been reissuing a lot of early Dead Sea material, or material from the 90s and some from the 80s. This isn't one that's been reissued. This was an original I picked up and second hand, and I just love this album. Side 2 of this, it's just got 2 songs, Bitcher and Outside, and I think that side 2 is some of the most blissful guitar noise that you could ever hope to hear. There's a song structure to it, but they just kind of get going on these amazing riffs, and there's all of this guitar noise, and they're really long, especially Outside must be, well over 10 minutes, 15 minutes long, and just magic, absolutely magic. One of my favourite sides of any New Zealand record, I think, The White House. Now this is new, although it's old material. Krypton Ten. It's a compilation which is put out by a German label. Excuse my pronunciation. This is Unwucht, UNWUCHT. It compiles material from Christchurch bands from 1981 to 1987. It's a double LP compilation, and all of the material on here was released originally on on-set, offset records, on cassettes and 7 inches. Incredibly rare, incredibly hard to find, and the amount of work that must have gone into finding the master tapes, contacting the people and compiling this is absolutely astounding. There are some iconic New Zealand compilations like AK-79, which collect the Auckland scene from the early days of punk, but there's really been nothing that's collected the Christchurch scene. And what you've got on here is a really eclectic collection of music that's kind of without, it's not bound to fashion. It's really eclectic. It's homegrown. Often it's lo-fi. Very varied, and just a really amazing collection, really. There's some real gems on here, and most of the bands on here I've never heard of. There are some, like the Riptoids or the Builders or the Puddle, who have gone on and had other releases, the Axemen, but then there's many on here like the Bottle Tops, Dillinger's Brain, Omar's Price that I've never heard of before, and it's just fantastic to have this. What a labour of love to put together this compilation. Krypton 10. And the early, I think the first 100 come with a 7-inch as well. There's also here inserts crediting all of the gatefold photos of the inside there, and credits for all of the tracks. As I say, tracking these down must have been a mission, but there's letting you know what release they were originally on. There's a couple of tracks in there as well that were never released originally. They've only been released for the first time now, although just about anything on there would be impossible to find in its original form. So I've been showing a bit of older stuff, and in some ways that's because there's a lot of great music coming out at the moment, but so much of it isn't being released on vinyl. And I've talked before about the problems in New Zealand of trying to press vinyl, the expense, there's nowhere to do it in the country, it's phenomenally expensive to do it overseas, and the time and hassle of sending masters, getting it pressed up, getting the test pressing sent here, going back and forth, it just becomes a hugely expensive process. And for a young band or a new band, the outlay to press up even a couple of hundred copies of vinyl is huge, and they can't afford to do it compared to the cost of putting it online or putting it on a CD. And more bands aren't even putting things on CD; they're putting them on Bandcamp. And I've been picking up some great new material. There's bands like the Vietnam War, She's So Rad, a great shoegaze group. There's Punches, who are on Arch Hill. I've talked about that label before, with great releases. And I'm buying that stuff and I'm listening to it, but I can't really show you an MP3, can I? Where's the fetish and cultish aspect of that? So yeah, so I've been buying a few older things, and I suppose feeling quite frustrated that I can't get some newer material on vinyl. I just want to let you know though about a project that another YouTube video maker, Kai, has started up, which is the New Zealand Vinyl Revival, and I'll put the address for that on here. He runs a site, Daily Beat, giving away an MP3 by a New Zealand act every day, and he ran a Facebook poll to select 5 groups to press vinyl. He's got a bulk order, and now he's got a pledge, which is like a pre-order going, so you can pre-order these albums, and then if they reach the target, I think it's $15,000 they need in the next month and a half, then all of these albums will be pressed up, and you can pre-order signed copies, you can order the whole set, you can choose 1 or 2 or whatever. And it's a fantastic project, and good on him for getting in behind and supporting New Zealand music and New Zealand vinyl. So I'll put the address there, and please do consider supporting that and pre-ordering those albums. But here are a couple of new releases that I have picked up, which I'm really pleased with. This is Hollow, the second album from Cut Off Your Hands, and this is Cut Off Your Hands, kind of, I suppose, hit it big pretty quickly, went off to the UK. Their first album was produced by, I can't remember which, one of the people who was in Suede, either Brett Anderson or Bernard Butler. Sorry, I shouldn't be able to remember that. This is the second album, Hollow, and I suppose this one is less angular, more jangle. So it's got a real 80s sound to it. In fact, my partner the other day said, "What is it with you playing the Smiths all the time at the moment?" I wasn't playing the Smiths, I was playing this. There's a real Smith sound on some of these tracks, which is no bad thing. And got an insert here. So there we go. So they went off to the UK, they came back, and this is their second album, and fairly accessible, poppy, 80s sounding, Smiths influence, but a really nice album. And finally for this video, this is what we're listening to now, and this is awesome. This is Pebbles, an album by Pumice. It's out on Soft Abuse Records. It's been out for quite a while. It's been out, I can't remember when this was originally issued, but maybe 2006, 2007, but it's only just got a vinyl release now. This is one of my favourite New Zealand albums. It's just magic. Pumice is a one-man psych noise outfit. Stephen Neville, he plays all of the instruments. It's got ship's organ, guitar, drums. He's a multi-instrumentalist. When he plays live, he plays all of that simultaneously. And the songs on here, I don't know, they're melancholic, they're thought-provoking. The music just kind of pulls you in. It's pretty varied, from some kind of, I suppose, poppier numbers almost, to some kind of really dreamy, longer pieces. I was just so pleased to finally get this on vinyl. It's dedicated to his father. Little insert there. I think limited to 300 copies. So I highly recommend this. Pebbles from Pumice. And just to finish up, I just wanted to let you know as well that I've started a Twitter account. That's twitter.com/waihekirecords. It's all one word. And I've just been posting on there what I've been listening to. When I post new videos, I'll Twitter those, and also vinyl news or anything else of interest that I think people might want to hear about. So it's twitter.com/waihekirecords. And thanks for your positive comments, and thanks for watching.